The Bekaa Valley is located in Lebanon. It is nested around the two mountain ranges that run along Lebanon parallel to the coast, the Mount Lebanon and Anti-Lebanon. Between the two mountain chains, the valley stretches across an area of around 4,000 square kilometers. The ice melting from the mountains creates large streams that complement the passing of the Al Arasi and Litani rivers to water the land abundantly. With all this water flowing to the Bekaa Valley from the mountains and the river, it is no wonder why the Bekaa Valley has built such a reputation for its agricultural quality. The Litani River displays its lowest gradient in the Bekaa Valley, which means that it runs along its most horizontal slope and at its slowest pace. The substantial amount of water is difficult for the soil to fully absorb, especially during the more humid seasons of the fall and winter. For centuries and until quite recently, the Bekaa Valley hosted an immense lake, reported for the first time by the Greek geographer Theophrastus in the 4th century before our era. This huge lake was later documented again by other antique sources, including Pliny the Elder in his visionary natural history, and by Islamic Middle Age sources as well. Theophrastus estimated the length of the lake to be around 30 stadia, that is around 6 kilometers. Actually, the magnitude of the lake was so impressive that it has inspired local legends related to the account of the prophet Noah. According to the legend, the Ark of Noah would have landed next to Ranjar after the Great Flood. The lake would be a remaining of this flood. A nearby village named Kerak Noah allegedly hosts the tomb of Noah in its great mausoleum. The size of the lake varied across centuries and also throughout the year, with an annual extension during winter and a dry up during summer. Scientific research has remodeled the greatest size of the lake by performing soil analysis. Almost all the area is not dried up for an agricultural purpose. Only one slight reminiscence of this ancient lake has survived to our days. The Aammiq Wetland is a sanctuary, recognized internationally for its ecological importance under the Ramsar status. The Ramsar Convention was signed in 1971 by 90% of states in the world, including Lebanon. Each signatory state has to identify a wetland of international importance whose ecological functions they commit to preserve by taking all the necessary management and regulatory measures. Protecting the Aammiq Wetland is important. Ramsar sites like Aammiq are not deemed solely valuable for the country where they are anchored, but for humanity as a whole. The Aammiq Wetland lies along one of the most important bird migration routes in the world, with hundreds of thousands of migrating birds using the marsh as a stop. Human societies have been relying on migratory birds since forever for hunting, egg gathering, and indirect services such as the role of the birds in regulating the insect population and dispersing crop seeds. Marshes, among which the Aammiq Wetlands, serve as critical refuges along these migratory routes. A default on one or more of these halts along the migratory route network could be highly damaging to the bird population and in fine to the ecosystems and human societies they serve. The Aammiq Wetland spreads over 280 hectares. It is constituted of a large marsh that offers a qualitative cradle of biological diversity by providing the water and productivity upon which countless species of plants and animals depend for survival. The Aammiq Wetland occupants range from large mammals such as wild boars, swamp cats, levant voles, wolf and the globally threatened otter, to numerous reptiles, amphibians and insects, and not less than 250 species of birds. Its environmental quality is fostered by its position as a crossroad interlinked to several types of habitats. The wetland habitat obviously, but also the forest, mountain, river and field habitats. It is the interaction between these different ecosystems that generate a stronger ecological value by stimulating the biodiversity. While we are currently going through the 6th mass extinction of species, and the first one witnessed by human societies and therefore to which we are all exposed, the importance of the Aammiq Wetland alongside the other biodiversity refuges cannot be understated. We collectively have only a few decades left to prevent the achievement of this extinction. This requires us, of course, to reduce our consumption level and stop polluting the environment, including by enforcing organic agricultural production. But it also requires us to protect nature sanctuaries and ecological corridors such as the Aammiq. The Aammiq wetland used to be incomparably bigger in size in the past. When checked on a map, one can only see that what is left from the immense lake described in antique sources is negligible. What happened? Human intervention played a big role in the shrinking of the lake. In the 14th century, the Emir Saifuddin Dunguz, who governed Syria from 1320 to 1339, acquired big pieces of land in the Bekaa Valley and decided to make use of it by building new towns in there. He organized important public work to drain the water out of the land and redirect it to the Litani River flow. Much later in the 19th century, the French Jesuits repeated the same scenario. They acquired land in the Bekaa and they organized the drainage to settle their agricultural activities, including vines for wine production. These drainage episodes were not 100% effective and seasonal flooding still used to occur regularly. Here is, for instance, a photo of Tal al-Akhdar, one of the villages founded in the Bekaa by the Emir Saifuddin in the 14th century. The photo was taken in February 1947. Years later is a photo from the same point of view where you can see that no flooding is happening anymore. The Bekaa Valley, the breadbasket of Lebanon, has gone through an extensive agricultural development over the past century, therefore enforcing competition over land use for agricultural activities as well as real estate development and increasing water consumption level for the crops. The story of the amputation of the Aammiq wetland is a good reflect of the current challenge of ensuring the long-term food security, fostering economic development in rural areas, especially in countries like Lebanon, which are suffering a lot from an aggravated economic crisis, while fighting against the erosion of biodiversity. I hope you found this video interesting. Nature in Lebanon is beautiful and life-bringing. Everything should be done to protect it. Please like and share if you appreciated the work, and until I see you next time, take care.